Hello and welcome to Nationwide. Actually, an abridged version of it. Well, this is due to the live broadcast of presentation of appointments to newly recruited staff in Kano State. We apologize for that. I'm Joseph Johnson. Let's start with Edo State because the federal government says it has begun partnership with relevant stakeholders in the oil and gas sector for rapid growth and development of the oil-producing communities. This was at the acting president, Professor Yemi Oshibajo's meeting with oil-producing communities held in Benin, the Edo State capital. He said 20 initiative programs by the federal government through the Ministry of Petroleum Resources is underway to reform oil-producing communities to be refining hubs.
Of livelihood for so many years. That is one of the issues that we intend to address.
Edo State welcomes the bold and progressive initiative which you, our acting president, have taken. And we want to assure you, as you have heard from the various stakeholders, that we're prepared to support and work with the federal government.
Professor Oshibajo reiterated the federal government's determination and commitment to address major challenges bedeviling the oil-producing communities with a view to profess solutions. To the judiciary now, where a Yola High Court has sentenced former Governor James Ngilari of Adamawa State to 5 years imprisonment without option of fine for awarding contract without following due process. The Yola High Court, presided over by Justice Nathan Musa, handed the sentence on Monday. Justice Musa found Ngilari guilty of 4 charges and discharged him on one, which bordered on conspiracy in 75 minutes long ruling. Nigerians have been urged to always pray for their leaders at all levels, as it is among the best way possible to roll the socio-economic challenges bedeviling the country. This was the central message during a special prayer held in Jos for quick recovery and return of President Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Yusuf Umar reports.
Series of special prayers observed by different religious groups across the country for the quick recovery and return of President Muhammadu Buhari is a clear indication that Nigerians are missing the presence of the president and are indeed hopeful in his style of leadership. The prayers, which was led by the chief imam of Jos, Sheikh Lawal Adam, drew plateau citizens, irrespective of their tribe or creed, praying for President Muhammadu Buhari, Plateau State and the nation in general. Speaker after speaker at the prayers emphasized that prayers is the best option Nigerians should leverage on for Allah's intervention in their predicaments. Plateau State Governor, represented by Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Alhaji Dayebu Yusuf Garga, speak.
And beside prayers, we also need to be committed and dedicated in supporting the government of the day, because it is only through the prayers that God Almighty will be calmed down to ensure that we succeed in whatever the country is facing today.
Convener of the special prayers under the auspices of Unity Forum, who was also the former Minister of State Information and Communication, Alhaji Ibrahim Desuk Isali Hunakandi, and an ambassador designate, Dr. Bawa Abdullahi Wase, says the prayer is a clear indication that Nigeria and its people have better days ahead.
To thank God Almighty for the relative peace that we have had. Our president is indisposed at the moment, and we are praying to God also for the speedy recovery.
With this vacation and test that he is running, we have discovered that no tribe, no ethnic group, no religious group that are not praying for him fervently.
The special prayers had personalities from all walks of life, including the Zonal Director NTA Network Center Jos, Nuruddin Adeshina Idris, among others. In Jos, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
So talking religious matters, Muslim and Christian communities in Taraba State have organized a joint prayer session for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari and success of his administration. Awal Abdul Khali reports that it took place at the Jalingo Central Eid ground.
The prayer session began with a procession which started from the Ministry of Works roundabout through Palace and Barrier Ways to Jalingo Central Eid Ground where the crowd assembles and performs the prayer. The unprecedented crowd of people from both Muslim and Christian faiths offered a special prayer for improvement in the health condition of President Muhammadu Buhari. The prayers led by Sheikh Aliu Babando and Pastor Babayorima centered on unity, development, peaceful coexistence, and wished President Buhari's quick recovery and return to the country safely. Speakers at the program described President Buhari's late administration as a blessing to Nigeria, considering the achievements recorded so far, position in the country, hence the need to support with prayers. They said the policies and programs of Muhammadu Buhari's late administration is capable to reposition the country to a greater height if properly supported by Nigerians. While highlighting the giant strike and landmark achievements by the leadership in the area of anti-corruption, security, revitalizing agriculture, and revamping the economy, among other achievements, the participants stressed that the administration deserves prayers and support from Nigerians to succeed.
Even if in good health, it is very important for people to pray for their leaders. If you pray for your leaders, God will guide them, and if they are well guided, then people will be able to achieve a lot.
Women and children from both faiths were not left out in the prayer session. In Jalingo, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Let's catch up on some of the other news now. The federal government has launched an asset tracking and management project to enable government locate, identify, assess and evaluate all its movable and immovable assets. The Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adelshun, announced this in a statement by the Director of Information, Salisu Dambata. Similarly, a central asset register would be created and domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Finance for recording the actual quantity, value, condition and location of all the capital assets belonging to the federal government under the international public sector reporting standard IPSAS. Government is expected to record both its assets and liabilities. Meanwhile, a circular signed by the Minister of Finance has been dispatched to all federal ministries, departments and agencies, requesting their accounting officers to prepare an inventory of all fixed assets held as at 31st December 2016 to facilitate physical verification by the project team. It could be recalled that the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission ICPC delivered 40 vehicles to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, which it recovered from some retired directors of the ministry and also the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. EFCC announced the recovery of 40 sports utility vehicles from a retired permanent secretary who served in the Federal Ministry of Power. The federal government has called on former President Goodluck Jonathan to desist from engaging in buck passing over the issue of the Chibok schoolgirls who were abducted under his watch, calling such action an unnecessary distraction from ongoing efforts to secure the release of the girls who remain in captivity long after they were abducted. The advice was contained in a statement issued by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. The statement followed the former president's reaction to the report by a British newspaper that the British Armed Forces offer to attempt to rescue the girls were rebuffed by the then President Jonathan. The statement pointed out that while former President Jonathan reserves the right to defend his administration, he should not engage in buck passing by saying some people who have obviously been playing politics with the issue of the Chibok girls will stop at nothing to further their interest, stressing that if anyone ever played politics with the issue of the Chibok girls, it was the administration under whose watch the girls were abducted. To this end, the statement maintained that after the girls were kidnapped and the Jonathan administration did nothing for all the 15 days or make any determined efforts to rescue them, thereafter, the then opposition APC told the nation several times that the whole Boko Haram crisis was allowed to escalate by the PDP-controlled federal government so they can use it as a political tool ahead of the 2015 elections. In a statement it issued on 8 September 2014, Lai Mohammed said 2.5 years after the statement, APC has been vindicated by the report that claimed President Jonathan rebuffed an attempt by the British government to help rescue the girls. The statement hoped the former president will refrain from stoking further controversy over the lingering abduction issue and allow the government of the day to focus on its ongoing negotiations to rescue the release of the Chibok girls. The federal government says Kaduna International Airport is in top form to commence full operation ahead of Wednesday's 8th of March closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Anthony Forson reports that this was the submission of the federal government at a World News Conference held in Abuja.
Representative of the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, and the Inspector General of Police.
In the case of Abuja Airport, for 34 years, neither surface cleaning has been done, nor resurfacing, and it is deteriorated. So what we are doing is actually construction, and there's no other alternative than to close the runway.
They emphasize and crave the indulgence of Nigerians that the whole exercise is in the interest of safety, which is a key word in aviation.
I was part of the visit to the Kaduna airport. The tarmac is ready. You saw that we took a drive on the tarmac with the acting president. The tarmac is not a problem.
Responding to questions, the ministers and the Inspector General of Police alleged the fears being entertained.
Kaduna is an international airport, a seasonal international airport. Flights out to international or to countries outside than Nigeria are being conducted in Kaduna, even in its present state.
It means all passengers coming from Lagos can meet the train between 8 and 9. If you leave by the 7 o'clock flight, you can meet the train that will bring you into Abuja.
While Air Ethiopia has indicated its willingness to fly to Kaduna, other airlines such as Lufthansa and Turkish Air are expected to also indicate their willingness to use Kaduna Airport. On movement to and from Abuja, the Minister of State Aviation, Hadis Rika, explained that shuttle buses have been made available to convey passengers, while for those who may wish to use the Kaduna-Abuja train, they are also free. He added that for those who may wish to engage the services of helicopter, it is also available. The Inspector General of Police, on his part, explained that a heavy security network has been designed to provide maximum security during the operation.
Our helicopters have been deployed for the past 1 week to be carrying out periodic surveillance of those areas. And like I stated, everything is going on according to plan.
In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, reports say facilities are now in place at the Kaduna International Airport for full aviation operations, with its new designation to serve the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport for rehabilitation of its runway. The report adds that the closure of the Abuja airport takes effect from 12 midnight on Wednesday, 8 March, for a 6-week repairs. To sports news now, Western Naval Command win 11th Nigerian Navy Games as University of Lagos and Bayero University Kano are set for basketball in next month's Nigeria University Games in Makurdi, Benue State. Deinde Sani reports.
The 11th Nigerian Navy Games in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State came to a close with Western Naval Command emerging champions with 69 gold, 69 silver and 46 bronze medals. Eastern Naval Command placed second with 38 gold, 22 silver and 34 bronze medals, while Naval Headquarters Abuja finished third. The closing ceremony featured football final and invitational relays.
The immediate appraisal of the games reveals a very positive outcome and a confirmation that the objectives of the games were well met.
President of Nigeria Volleyball Federation Habu Gomez says the postponement of first phase Africa Zone 3 World Beach Volleyball Championship qualifiers in Cotonou, Benin Republic from March 3rd to 6th to March 10th to 13th will not hamper Nigeria's chances of scaling through. Gomez, who visited the athletes at their Jabil Lake Abuja training camp ahead of their Thursday departure, believes that Team Nigeria is fully prepared to take on their opponents, which include Ghana, Togo, and host Benin Republic. University of Lagos are winners of the Nigerian University Games Association 3x3 basketball competition decided at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja and attended by 19 universities. University of Lagos defeated University of Ibadan by 14 points to 11, and in the female category, Bayero University Kano beat University of Ilorin by 10 to 6 points.
The competition is throwing more challenge to leaders, administrators, stakeholders, and the various state government.
The two-day competition was aimed at discovering players that will compete at this year's Nigeria University Games, to be hosted by University of Agriculture, Makurdi, from April 20th to 30th. With sport update, Dende Sonny, NTA News.
And that's all we can accommodate on the abridged version of Nationwide. Thanks for your understanding, and thanks for keeping a date with us. I'm Joseph Johnson. Bye-bye.